What's up, everyone? Commish here, bringing you a Week 14 matchup between myself and Bryan. So this matchup had everything on the line. Winner goes into the playoffs. Loser maybe doesn't go to the playoffs. So this, well, definitely loser. If I was a loser, I might not have gone to the playoffs. But for sure, if Bryan had lost, he wasn't going. But it worked out that I was able to pull out the dub here. Won reasonably comfortably, despite Davante Adams making it a little bit interesting in the end, but still wasn't anywhere near enough. But let's kind of dive in here and see how this matchup got decided. Didn't really get much help from Dak Prescott. Only got me 11.94 points. Was a very ugly outcome for me with him there. He got off to a hot start, got a nice touchdown pass, but then the rest of the game was really sloppy. He lost a fumble, threw a couple picks. So the pretty rough go there for Dak. Also a rough go there for Derek Carr, continuing to struggle in Arrowhead. He just never plays well there. He's like had only one good game there ever in Arrowhead, and that was last year. So they had 12.52 points, had a touchdown. So okay numbers, threw a pick, but not nearly enough for you, Bryan, for what you need in fantasy to beat me. Alvin Kamara came back to my squad at the perfect time. Has been out for like the last 4 or 5 games, but it came back and got the full workload. Got me 22.5 points, 120 yards on the ground, and a touchdown. Also 4 catches, 25 yards. So very happy with that output. Javonte Williams, who you just traded for a couple weeks ago, Bryan. He's definitely showing out here to end the year, making his case to be the lead back, not only the rest of this year, but going into next season too. 20.8 points, 15 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Also had a catch for 10 yards and another touchdown. So he's really distancing himself here from Melvin Gordon. Finally, a little too late there for you, man. But it just wasn't enough for you to really make a difference here in this matchup. But he's definitely someone who you can probably keep going forward safely. Austin Eckler got me 15.4 points. Did get hurt in the second half, so could have had more points, but still a solid day. 12 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Also had 2 catches for 17 yards. So he's been about as steady of a running back as you could hope for. And luckily he's been that for me this year. And the touchdowns have been there, which haven't really been there for him in years past, at least to this magnitude, this volume. So definitely a pleasant surprise. Eckler's been here this season for me. He's been good. Didn't expect great, but he's been great. And then I expected maybe more top 10. He's been top 2, so it's pretty good. Joe Mixon, who's had a very good season too. Didn't really have a good game though. 18 carries, 58 yards, 2 catches, 10 yards. So it didn't really come up big for you there. And in money time here for you, Bryan, in your must-win week. But he's been a stud for you all year, but it just wasn't in the cards this week. DK Metcalf has fallen off the face of the earth here. Just has not been able to capture that magic with Russ since he's gotten back into the lineup. Only 6.3 points. Something off with the chemistry. He's getting targets, but they're just, he's not getting those deep targets, those deep catches, deep touchdowns like he was last year. In the first half this year too, he started out pretty good with the touchdowns. Just hasn't really been there the last month and a half. No matter if it was Gino or Russ. So hopefully he picks it up here for me going here in the playoffs. Davante Adams, who I spoke about earlier, had 29.1 points. Had a monster game for you, Bryan. Just unfortunately, you were down by so much. He would have needed like 50 to come back and give you the win. So rough go there, man. But Davante, you obviously a beast like he always is. Amari Cooper had a pretty good day. Had 5 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Definitely was a critical part of my roster this week. So I was, good to see him get a touchdown there. And now he's back looking like he's healthy from COVID symptoms like he had last week. Terry McLaurin, though, definitely killed you this week. Bryan had 0.0. Looks like he got hurt. He went up for a ball, couldn't catch it, and fell down, I think, on his back and his head. So definitely a scary, no pun intended, moment for scary Terry McLaurin there. So hopefully he'll be all right. Let's see, Austin Hooper, who's now on COVID now has COVID on the COVID list. Before he did though, got me a nice game, 5 catches, 30 yards and a touchdown. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. That's what he gave me. So just give me a touchdown, and he got me that. So Travis Kelce only got 4.2 points, 3 catches, 27 yards. Definitely didn't come up big for you at all there in money time, Bryan. He's someone who I know you traded for early in the season. He's had his weeks, but there's also been these weeks like this too, where he kind of just disappears and isn't the focal point of the offense like he was last year. But it's kind of a rough go there. No way of predicting that, right? Chief offense has been up and down. Never know who's gonna have the boom week or the bust week. Jeff Wilson, who I thought was gonna have a really nice game, only got me 56 yards. Got 13 carries. It's just he just could not find any running room. Couldn't get in the touchdown, couldn't get into the end zone like I had hoped, but it is what it is. Luckily it didn't kill me, but definitely left a lot of meat on the bone there, so to speak. Jerry Jeudy, 7.2 points, 5 catches, 47 yards, very average day for him. Tyler Bass got me 9 points in the kicking game. He's been pretty steady all year, and was the same way this game as well. Greg Zuerlein, 13 points, monster game for him. He was one of the high scorers there for the Dallas Cowboys. That's for sure. Kicking a lot of field goals there in Washington. And finally, the Titans defense was probably my MVP this week. Got me 21 points, completely shutting down the Jags. I think I was able to play the Titans defense against the Jags at the right time, right before Urban got fired. So I think I got a little lucky with that one. 4 picks, 3 sacks, no points allowed. So they played a perfect game, and that's definitely something I needed for sure. And the Carolina Panthers for you, Bryan, were kind of the opposite. I think you're hoping for Titan-like numbers, and they gave you only 2 points. So rough go there, man. So all in all, Bryan, rough year for you, man. You're still the second highest scorer in the league, even though you didn't make the playoffs, which is really unheard of. I think you just had a rough go. I think you had the most points scored on you in the year too, like 1,700 points. I think I saw. So you were getting handed to you all year. It's just your team still is a beast, but just couldn't overcome those huge weeks that people were having against you. And for myself, man, I missed out on the bye just slightly. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate that. I was kidding. Yeah, so I'm going to try to ramp up and see what I can do here in the playoffs. But Bryan, man, good season. Like I said, just rough go.